What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy 313 J Mo back once again. Y'all know Michigan basketball is coming back tomorrow. Y'all already know how we get it down. Go blue. That's the type of energy we started the video with, y'all. But how you guys doing out there, man? I'm gonna wait for a few people to get in here. Let me see if I can switch this up a little bit. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. Now, 1 second. I think my man Bravo wants to get in here. 1 second. We gonna talk about my man Troy Weaver real quick. We gonna have some fun, y'all. I'm waiting for some of you guys to get in here. Shout out to everybody, man. I hope y'all having a smooth Tuesday, man. I got a lot of stuff to do, but I wanted to talk to you guys about some Pistons because my boy Troy Weaver is out here doing crazy things, and I want to give like my full thoughts on free agency and whatever. So the Pistons with free agency, I've been thinking a lot about what's been going on with the team, and I think a lot of people think we're going to be a bad team. And I would say if the team is healthy, we're really not going to be a bad team. If you look at all of Troy Weaver's moves, none of his moves, if these players are kept, none of these moves say that he's building a team that he wants to lose. He went out and really upgraded the team. Now, we lost Christian Wood. We lost Luke Kennard and those valuable pieces, but you brought back Jeremy Grant. You still have Steve Mikhailuk, and you drafted Killian Hayes to offset that. And when I'm looking at Troy Weaver's moves, I think that Troy Weaver is definitely trying to take the OKC blueprint, meaning trying to compete early and like they raised Chris Paul's stock and then they was able to trade him instead of just trading Chris Paul as soon as he went to OKC. And I think that Troy Weaver is trying to have a competitive Pistons team with Blake, maybe even make the playoffs. And when Blake's stock is at the highest, you trade Blake. Now, I was hearing some stuff about the Pistons are still open to moving D Rose, which I think will be interesting because that means some young players will get some opportunity. But it's just some things that they gotta do. But I think my man Bravo is gonna join me real quick. I'm about to shout out the people in the chat. I'm gonna look at the comments, you guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Let's see who we got in here, man. We got Des Big. What's good, man? We got Joey Cabins in the building. What up, though? We got Detroit Drew in the building. What up, though? We got my boy Xavier. What's good, Xavier? We got Nick in the building. We got my man Debbie 99 in the building. What's good? Michael's Gaming Takeover in the building. What's good? Sports Today in the building. What's good, y'all? Hey, what's good, man? My boy Xavier birthday Friday, man. Hey, man. Shout out to you, man. Happy B-Day, fam. Bruh, how many? I think Rose will play 25 minutes a game. Who else in the building? We got Shad in the building. We got Gerald, this guy in the building. I don't know about that beginning of the name, but what's good, man? We got Michael in the building. What's good, everybody? What's good, fam? All right, man. Hold on, man. Give me 1 second, yo. And I'm gonna get to your questions. All right. So, like I was saying, a lot of people think that we're gonna win like 25 games, 30 games, man. What's good, Mario? What up, Anthony? 20 games, 30 games, but I don't think that's Troy Weaver's vision. If you look at the way that the roster is built, you upgraded the team defensively, and the talent will be a slightly bit better. And so when I'm looking at it like that, I think that Troy Weaver actually does want to compete. Like, you don't go out and pay Jeremy Grant $20 million a season. I don't care if they're trying to move him in the future. I don't care what they're trying to do. You don't go out and pay Jeremy Grant all that money if you're not trying to compete. Hold up 1 second. I'll be right. My connection was acting stupid. Had to go fix that, but I'm back, y'all. But like I was saying, so when you look at the way that the roster is built, if Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin are on this team, if this is the team, because the season's about to start in literally a month. So if this is our team, now we know we got 22 players on the team and more trades and more things to be happening. But for the most part, I'm talking about the core pieces, guys like Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, Jahlil Okafor. Those guys are going to be on the roster. So when I'm looking at it from that perspective, I can see that Troy Weaver is actually trying to build like a competitive team. And I think he's just going to put the team out there and see what they do. He's not going to go out there and try to lose. If you listen to Troy Weaver's press conference, I see you, Bravo. If you listen to Troy Weaver's press conference, he said he was going to build around D Rose and Blake Griffin. And you have to think smartly. You have to raise Blake Griffin's value. You have to raise Derrick Rose's value even more to the point where they become tradable assets. And then it even raised Jeremy Grant's value. Let Jeremy Grant score 16 a game, 18 a game if he's lucky. Raise his value so you can move these pieces to continue to build a better contending team. And I think the young talent is really like Killian Hayes. I said he's gonna be way better as a rookie than people are gonna give him credit for. And he's just gonna like if Blake gets injured and we lose games, Troy Weaver will be smooth. He doesn't mind drafting. I think Troy Weaver is not gonna try to make us lose games. He's gonna put the team out there, how many games they win, how many games they win. But if Blake Griffin is still healthy and close to his old self with this roster, you can see that Troy Weaver is at least trying to build a better basketball team to just be, and he's gonna put them out there. Now, I'm gonna go look at some comments. Bravo, hold up 1 second. I wanted to my boy Bravo in the building. What's good, man?
What's going on?
Yeah, but 1 second. I did want to say a lot of people ask what I think about Zaire Smith. I actually like Zaire Smith. He's young, athletic, and can play defense, but they were stretching his contract. I do still think a big move is going to happen because like my man Micah said here, we got 22 players. So something is definitely going to happen. But the core of this team, my real basketball fans, y'all know the core of this team right now. And when I'm looking at the core of this team, it's solid. If assuming health, you have to say that with injury prone players, but it's solid, and that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking at. Let's see, we got some more people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. Shout out my boy Xavier. It's his birthday, man. Shout him out. We got Chicago African in the building. DMAP Zoom. What's good, man? All right, so I think people keep sleeping on Stewart. No, I'm the only one who said I think he could be playing 10 minutes a night, 12 minutes a night. I've said that because I'm just looking at his physicality. You got to realize the NBA, when you go to the next level, is up here. It's physicality, it's staying healthy, and it's coaching, and it's balance, and it's a lot of willpower sometimes. And as long as he understands what defense he's supposed to be playing, how he's supposed to be guarding the pick and rolls, like if he can get it up here with these defensive rotations early as a rookie, he'll be playing 10 to 12 minutes a night and he'll be scoring points, and rebounding the basketball. So I definitely think I think all of our players can impact. Like Sadiq Bey off the bench, 15 minutes a night. I think he can do that. Killian Hayes, I definitely think he need to be playing about 28 minutes a game, even 30, But all right, Bravo, what's good, man?
What's up? How's it going?
Nothing, man. I just wanted to talk to the people, Michigan basketball. Hold on, let me take the comment down. Michigan basketball is coming back tomorrow. We got a stat recruiting class. We coming. I'm so happy because Michigan football is nothing to talk about. And Detroit football is nothing to talk about. All we got is the basketball. So we got our basketball team. Who should we target to improve our shooting? And at this point, I really don't know that many people out there. Like I thought Langston Galloway might find and sneak himself on the team, but he got signed. So, and people know I'm not that much of a fan of Langston like that. Trey Sadiq, he gonna be a bust. Trade for Langston Galloway, sure.
What?
Yeah, we ignore comments like those. Who is your upcoming Pistons backcourt with the players on the current roster? I don't know about two guard yet. I think two guard, like He has the clout on the team. He has the tenure. He has the backing of the coaches. But I'm not convinced that they won't leave it to an open competition at some point. And if that's the case, we have to see. But I want to say like Svi and Killian Hayes or Derrick Rose, but I think it should be Svi and Killian Hayes, but I don't know how much this team. I don't like Svi is really gonna have to compete at that spot to get that spot. But I don't think it's a like done deal or like you're the shooting guard now. I know they traded away a lot, but they brought in other people, so shooting guard is the question. Sadly to say, Sekou should be starting, but Jeremy Grant will get to start. And then you got Blake Griffin, but the backcourt, Killian definitely I don't think that he not the only way he not starting is if he's not ready. And I don't think that's gonna be the case. Because with a lot of these, well not a lot of these, some of these young point guards with vision that earlier in their first like 3 years of their career, it carries them on a long time throughout. And Killian already being this great in pick and roll with this great of vision, he'll be able to at least play make on the NBA level already. So all he has to do is focus on reading the speed of the game. Of course, focus on seeing the floor with all these athletic athletes out there and all these better basketball players. Just think that you have to learn as a young rookie coming up. But Killian already, I think, will be able to play defense, and he can already pass at the level that he needs to be at. And I definitely think he can go out there and score some points too. So looking at that, and Derrick Rose is a sixth man. We not you don't start the season starting Derrick Rose and burn him out early, and then we lose him and he loses his value. So that's what I'm thinking about, man. He said, "I'm sorry to say, in order to keep Blake healthy, Blake should come off the bench." Blake
Come
would
on,
never
man.
the bench though. He getting 30 to something million. Now I would love for Sekou and Jeremy Grant to start and Blake come off the bench, but that'll never happen. And I think Blake is still a little bit better than those guys. But if you're talking about to keep him healthy, I understand where you're coming from, but they'll never do that. How do you like Bi getting a max contract extension? I mean, I knew he was gonna get a max, so it's not nothing new to me. Let's see. I think they'll move Blake. Too many bigs that need to play can keep roles as leader and mentor. Um,
I don't think we'll move Blake unless we find really
yeah.
like if he's 100%. If he's there really healthy, we'll move him probably.
No, but we're not gonna move Blake before the season start. I don't
Yeah.
think
Well,
anymore.
unless
Like
like a team like really interested in him, maybe. I don't
right,
know.
but we haven't heard that. Trust me, if Blake Griffin was like, we would be hearing something, wouldn't we? And we haven't really been hearing much. I think the Pistons want to, like I said, like what OKC did with Chris Paul, they want to raise his value.
Yeah.
The man hasn't played in, you know, he only played a few games at the beginning of the season. He hasn't played that much, so you still got to go out there and see that he can play. But all right, Bravo, man. I just wanted to talk to the people, man, for a second about Troy Weaver and all of these moves that he's doing. And I do like getting rid of Tony Bradley because he sucks. So, what do you think about Zaire, and do you think he's gonna be on the team?
I really like Zaire. You know, some from the days I watched him at the Philly G League team, and they drafted him, I believe, a 17 or 18, the first round pick by Philly. I think it was in the same draft as Bruce Brown. So he's a really like very athletic, above the rim. He can shoot it, but he's not really like he did not really develop properly in Philly. That's his problem. So he wasted a lot of time down there in the G League. I saw his game. Sekou actually played against him a few times in the G League. I saw him like we destroyed him. He's not that good really. So when I watched his film on Philly, I thought he was like a sleeper. People slept on him because he's a first round talent and he's not really doing great. But now I can see the reason why I would stretch him because we need the salary cap, and I think he is beyond his time. So he's like 2 years ahead, like Bruce Brown, like now, almost like in the same category of Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown is a more developed player than Zaire Smith. Zaire Smith is more talented for sure, but he did not develop properly. I think that
Well,
reduces stock.
I mean, I haven't really said this on camera, but I've talked to, I'll say it now, but I've talked to a lot of people. I hate Philly's development program a
Yeah.
lot. They haven't, like, listen to me, people. They haven't developed anyone. And you'll say, "But they developed Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid." No, they haven't. They were just talented as hell. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are the same basketball players they were a few years ago. They're just older now. Joel is still like that talented post game, man. He learned that was a gift. Ben Simmons, we know his gifts are he still can't shoot the basketball. Joel has weaknesses in his game. Ben Simmons has weaknesses in his game, but year after year they don't develop. They first of all they literally ruined Markel Fultz's jump shot. Literally just told him to redo his shot and destroy his shot, and then traded him. And then Orlando had to repair him. None of their young players really seem to be having that much success. Philly is they destroy young players. Dario Saric left. He looks better. Didn't they have Shamit? Shamit looked better with the Clippers, even though he had his ups and downs with them. Young players just don't do that well. It seems like the last few years with Philly. So same thing with Zaire. Like Matisse Thybulle. You like him. I like him. Let's see how he developed the next couple years, because he could be a guy that could be a star if he
Yeah.
had the right people around him. And so when it comes to Zaire, I think that's why he has that stigma, because Philly is Jahlil Okafor, another person they didn't develop. Nerlens Noel, another
Oh,
person they didn't develop. Like, and Nerlens Noel and Jahlil Okafor are better now that they're not on those teams. And so when I'm looking at that, and then when it relates to Zaire, he has that stigma and he has all those struggles because he's played for a horrible organization when it comes to developing talent. I'm not saying the Pistons are any better, but I feel like the Pistons haven't nearly had the amount of talent that Philly has had to even have to develop. Like Andre Drummond and like a Luke Kennard, who technically Luke can develop because he got better. Drummond developed a little bit, but like we didn't really have that type of talent. We wasn't getting the first overall pick for multiple years to be able to draft that type of talent to develop it. Not like, but I think Zaire could have a bright future if he had a chance to be himself.
yeah.
But that injury scare where he almost died and stuff, he's been through a lot, man. And the Pistons might get rid of him, but I like him. I'm gonna just put it like that. They could very well move on from him today, but I do like him. And throw him in the G League or something like that. Let him compete with Saban League. Let him try to compete to get on the roster. But if they don't want to do that, I'm not gonna trip about it.
Did they really officially release him or not yet?
No, no, nothing's happened yet.
Because we thought, like, I thought I read a few times they said waived him. Then they said they're not 100%. Then they said they're gonna waive him and they're gonna.
Yeah,
They're
they
not
remember
clear.
they was gonna waive Ariza, and then they didn't do it. So
They traded Ariza to Dallas. I thought.
right, but they said they were gonna waive him.
Uh, actually, I don't like this waiving thing, to be honest. This whole thing is eating our cap space. You might as well keep
Yeah,
him
our
for
cap space is gone now.
yeah. I mean, just keep Zaire Smith next year, and next year he will expire. So that's what we do. I just don't know really that. So here's the thing: we
No,
have this.
that would make sense. You
Yeah,
keep him on the roster, let him expire, but they might want to use that roster spot.
David Mintzberg is the guy who is doing all the. Remember, he's the guy from the Milwaukee Bucks. We hired him as assistant GM to Troy Weaver. He's the guy who does all the cap space and money, cap deal, CBS, all of this stuff done by David Mintzberg. I guarantee you, he's a really like analytic guy, a very very smart analytic guy. So that's what he's doing. But Troy obviously is making the move, so he's on the move.
All right, let's see. We got a comment. Y'all got to stop giving BS analysis. Y'all should know in y'all right mind. Blake and Rose not coming off the bench. Why would the young players don't develop just by starting and shooting? Derrick Rose played 25 minutes a game last year, and he was on a minutes restriction. He's a six man. That's why Derrick Rose isn't gonna start. I don't know why y'all think Derrick Rose can start in this league without getting hurt anymore. Everyone knows that Blake wouldn't be coming off the bench. It would be nice, but he's getting paid 30 plus million. Like I said, I said he's better than Sekou and Grant. I guess you didn't hear when I said that. So learn to listen a little bit more. And Killian right now defensively is better than Derrick Rose, and he has that vision, so he can still give you the 6 assists. You're going to start the guy you just drafted 7th overall, who Troy Weaver said he's ready to start day one. You're not going to start a veteran on a low deal. What he on the last year of his deal because we signed up for 2 years, who potentially could be traded over your starting point guard unless that point guard isn't ready. And I think Killian will be more than ready. Derrick Rose is going to come off the bench and give us a spark. He probably will close most of the games, but that's what's going to happen with that. Backcourt Rose and Josh Jackson or Rose and Bay.
Oh,
I look. Josh Jackson and Sadiq Bey are more forwards than two guards.
yeah.
So I want you guys to know that. What I think about Franz Wagner, I like Franz Wagner, but I want to see him on the court playing. So I'll judge him completely off of what he does this year.
However, I do feel like Sadiq Bey can play the shooting position, so he can play, he can shoot.
No, he can shoot, but he's more, he plays like a forward. Put it like that, and he's a forward that plays like a forward. So
yeah, absolutely.
So that's
I don't know.
I'm
I'm really interested in keeping. I would love to keep Zaire Smith, but I have no idea what they haven't. Do you think the Pistons are done?
No, I think they are. I think they're going. We got 22 players. They're gonna make one more move to get the roster down to 15. But okay. I don't know what that move is gonna be. So I can't be like, yo, we're done, and that move is something drastic, like getting a big player or a nice young player. But if he's keeping these contracts that we think that he'll keep, I think they are done. They're just gonna find a way to get rid of these last 7 people. I don't know if we're gonna make any more big moves, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna make any more trades, so
I would love for us to make another big move. Go get a shooter for one of these.
J-Mo, the only guys left: D Rose, Blake, Sekou, and Svi. We don't want to think any more of those players.
We don't have to move them. Oh no, we do have to move them because we just traded for people, so you can't trade them. Trade them again. Yeah, so all the people we traded for, we can't trade for what? How many days? I thought Pistons Talk said 30 or something. I don't know how many days.
Right. There's a rule.
After you trade for somebody, you can't retrade them. So yeah, so they probably would be done.
No, after you sign a player, you could not trade them immediately. You can, but you can trade a player if they come back here. Now, like Ariza is moving between different teams. There's no problem.
Okay, so you're right. So that's what it is. But I know that some of the players that we have that we will want to move, if we were talking about making some other big move that some fans think we'll make, they're going to be on the team. You can't move them right now. So that's why I'm starting to think this is going to be the team. And they just did you guys forget about Servetus? Nobody has forgot. Yeah. Your boy 313 J-Mo is the biggest critic and lover of Servetus in the same sentence. We got a nickname from him on here, but we ain't gonna talk about the nickname. But like I said, I want to see him in the G League, man. I like him, man. Like I said before, Jordan Bone, and also I'm just blaming everybody in the second round. But Jordan Bone or Servetus, we had a lot of trades that year. I wanted Bobo or Carson Edwards or something. And I'm very upset. So Servetus better be nice. And I think he's okay. So we just have to see,
You think the Pistons will trade D Rose?
I don't have a clue. Because at first I thought he was safe, and then you heard the recent Troy Weaver, like, bro, I don't care who Derrick Rose is. Like, hey, I'll guarantee you, Troy Weaver probably didn't even say he was about to trade Derrick Rose. They probably called Troy Weaver, and Troy Weaver was like, I should go get because I got 2 phones. I should go get my other phone and just be like, have both of them. Troy Weaver was like, well, both of the phone, one phone here, one phone there. He was like, yo, am I going to hold on to D Rose? Man, I'll trade that boy for something. What you mean? Like, and that's when the people are like, oh, snap. He said he don't mind. He moved D Rose. Like, I don't know if he necessarily wants to trade him, but I bet you somebody asked him if that was on the table. Like, who's D Rose? Like, I'll move him in a second. Like, we looking for everything. So I don't think he's like necessarily safe. So
did the Celtics hired did they sign a backup point guard or not yet?
I've questioned Casey at player development. So we'll on the Pistons specifically. So we'll see who he develops. I think the Pistons defense is going to be great this season. I definitely agree with you. I saw something. Somebody said something about
The Celtics signed Tristan Thompson, but I don't think they signed a backup point guard yet. I can't remember. Did they? So they might get D Rose.
who?
Oh, they signed Jeff Teague on a 1-year deal.
Who are you talking about?
Celtics.
What? Kimba was on a 1-year deal or something? Don't they still got Kimba, or he's not there?
No, Kemba Walker, but a backup point guard. I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you said starting point guard.
Yeah, backup point guard. Because they could, any team could benefit from D Rose as a backup, but I don't think they will absorb his contract and give us.
I don't know if you would want to put D Rose on that team because he needs shots, and they already got a lot of people taking a lot. Well, no, Gordon Hayward is going. I take that back. Okay, so he can take some of Gordon Hayward shots. So, it definitely could work out for them. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already, man. Like it says in the title, Michigan basketball tomorrow. We back. We got a nice recruiting class. We got Juwan Howard in his second year, man. We about to see what goes on. I'm very excited about that because it ain't nothing football related with any team right now in the state of Michigan. That's something to talk about, or basketball related. Besides, Michigan and even state season a little starting and what the Pistons are going on. So we gonna talk about it, y'all. But Troy Weaver is still a mastermind. I know he's gonna do something else. He's gonna fill the rest of these holes. I think we still need another shooter. I know we got Rodney McGruder, and Rodney McGruder is like a career 49% 3-point shooter. Like I remember I was looking him up, in a couple years he shot 50% from 3. So he's a shooter, but what can you expect from Rodney McGruder, dog? And I'm mad that rhyme, but I just come on, man. No, I'm wrong. I guess I was thinking about somebody else. This dude can't shoot at all. I see. That's why I always go check the stats. I'm thinking about somebody else that was shooting 50% from 3 that we just got. I think we waived him, bro. The Pistons waived everybody. That's probably why we still looking for a shooter.
Yeah, we only have Svi, and now we have McGruder and Zaire.
What's that dude's name?
Who?
I'm trying to remember the dude's name. He shot 50% from 3. He probably not on the team anymore.
Aaron Naismith? Who?
What's good, Pistons Talk?
What's up?
Not much. What about you guys?
I'm trying to figure out. Let me go to the Pistons. I'm trying to figure out who it was because I want to know if he's still on the roster. Pistons Talk, our roster right now besides the main people. Like who are the bubble guys?
Oh, from the training camp bubble before?
No, I'm talking about. No, I mean guys that's on the bubble to make the team.
I don't even know. Like half the deals aren't even freaking officialized yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like we got so many players, and I've looked up so many stats for all of these players. I don't even know which player I'm talking about anymore. So I got to look up stats every time I say a player name.
What position does he play?
He plays shooting guard.
For us? Kyrie Thomas.
Nah, he's gone.
No, so it'd be Mihailuk, the line right, but I think he's more of a point guard. Don't know what Servetus is going to play.
I don't think he'll play. He's going to go back.
Is Servetus going? Is this man playing in the NBA or not?
He's not. He's going to go back to Israel, I think.
No, he's coming to training camp.
Just for a short period of time. Right, then the Travers. Hey, I called the wrong person, man. Go back.
Hold on. Go ahead, Pistons Talk.
He's not even signed a contract. I mean, we just have his rights. So, I mean, we could sign him to a 2-way.
Okay, stop there. What does that mean?
What, have his rights?
Yeah.
So when you usually do draft and stashes, you usually have their rights, which means you can call them back at any time. Like during the Grant trade, we got another guy that they drafted in 2015. We have his rights. Whether we want it or not, that's up to us. I think we'll probably just get rid of him. We don't have to give money. I have to
add because not everybody knows what you're talking about because they'll be like, well, we have his rights, but he's not signed to a contract on the team. What does that even mean? Yeah. So, no. So that's good. So we gonna send him to training camp. If he ball out, Probably put him on a 2A or the G League team. If not, we gonna send him. He gonna let him go back to Israel to make the rest of his bread.
I honestly don't know. I feel like if we didn't make all these trades, he'd have a good shot of actually making the roster. But you look at the forwards; it's pretty stacked up there between small forward, because that's what I think he'll actually play in the NBA. It'd be a stretch to put him at a 2 guard because I think he's just too.
Miles Leonard signed with the Heat. Well, the guy I'm talking about, we must have got rid of in one of the other trades. Man, we've gotten so many Rodney Magruder, Zaire Smith type guys that I can't even think of all of the names anymore.
Trey doesn't give a shit about our feelings. Honestly.
Hey, bro, when they traded Luke, that's what I tweeted. I'm like, Trey don't give a damn. Like, he don't care. No. And then they traded Kyrie Thomas the next day, who I was hyping up after the Bruce Brown trade.
That's him here.
And I was like, yeah. That's when I was like, yeah. That's why I got once they traded Kyrie Thomas, I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'm over it. He's about to move the entire team, but you move Sekou, we gonna have all types of issues.
Yeah, I think he's safe. Honestly, I think he would have been traded by now if Troy wanted.
Well, no,
to trade him.
I mean now we know he's safe, but back then when you had just signed Jeremy Grant, I was just like, because you like Troy was making so many moves, you didn't really know what he was gonna do or not do.
Yeah.
So. But like I said, now we obviously know what their vision is. They're trying to develop Sekou slow. I don't really like it, but it is. Let them do what they want to do.
I don't know. It's weird.
Cerritos is probably a 2 or a 3. I don't know what Cerritos is, because this is my thing. We have all these weird archetypes in basketball now, where these in Svi is 1-2, these 6'9" European type of wings for all of these guys, because kind of in Euroball and in a little sense in some situations, they usually share the ball. So you have these 6'8", not just from Europe, but just from out of America, all over Spain, wherever. But all of these tall wings, and they all can pass the ball, so you don't really know which ones are really point guards or not. Yeah, because Danny Avdija, he has all this vision and all of this stuff, and he could be an amazing point guard in his league. Not saying he won't be, but look at his assist numbers. He's averaging 3 assists, and so you're like, what? Because y'all know how high I am on Danny Avdija. I mean, I love Danny Avdija, and I love his vision. I think he can do that. It's the same thing with Cerritos. He can dribble, he can shoot, he can score, and he has really nice vision. So I'm like, what position do you play, bruh?
I've compared him a lot to Joe Ingles because I think that's what his ceiling is. I think he can be that type of player. But you're right, we do have a lot of tweeners on the team. You could make a case for Svi to play, I don't know, shooting guard, small forward.
How tall is Joe Ingles?
6'8".
6'8".
I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure someone will probably say.
I'm not a buff on Joe Ingles, but would you consider him athletic in his prime? Because he's 33 now.
I'm just saying that's what Cerritos could be. He's kind of.
I just think Cerritos is a little way more. I don't really know how athletic Joe Ingles is, but he's an athlete to me.
Yeah, I mean,
he developed a lot. I don't know how you turn from one player to another player in a year, but one year he was 6'7", looked like he didn't weigh more than me. The next year he's 6'9" with tattoos and a nasty handle, and he looked mean. I'm just like, what happened to you? So Cerritos confused me a lot. I like the Joe Ingles comparison, but I just need to know more about Joe Ingles, because, like I said, I don't really. My thing is, if he lived up to some superstar level type of potential, that would be him handling the ball. I'm just gonna put it simple like that. So that's where I'm like, you ain't nowhere near that yet. And if you make the roster, what type of player are we gonna try to make you? You see what I'm saying? Because he can have all that vision and not get a chance. That's where I'm confused with him. Because Svi, and I remember I wanted Svi and Luke to handle the ball more. And I think Svi has vision, but he can just make plays. I would compare him to Joe Ingles. Maybe not. He can't piss people off defensively like Joe Ingles. He can't get up into you. Play off Joe Ingles, a bad brother, bro. I'll take Joe Ingles any day of the week. Man. So, But I would compare him like that. But and Joe Ingles is actually a solid playmaker. But like Joe Ingles and Speed, even if they can be solid playmakers, they're not like passers initiate. No, Joe Ingles sometimes play backup point guard. I'll take that back. They use him every way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's kind of like
he's weird.
Average 5 assists this year. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. Like Joe Ingles passes the ball, so maybe not. Maybe that's a great comparison. But will we use like that? That's why I go back to where I said, will we use him that way, or will we just be like, you're a shooter?
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to take the coach into consideration too, because the way the Jazz used Joe Ingles when Mike Conley was out is he was basically the point guard and Donovan Mitchell was playing off ball. So
right.
I don't really know if they'll use Vitas like that. Like I said, I see him more of a 2-3 with the Pistons, but I don't know. Probably a corner 3 specialist until Casey can trust him more. But that's just my opinion on it.
Okay, B-Ball Grass, yeah, the Vitas average average 1.8 assists. I knew the number was extremely low, but you couldn't tell me he averaged that amount of assists when I watched him play basketball with that vision. And that's what I'm saying. Like, how good of a passer are these guys? Because, like I said, a lot of these guys can play mate. Like we talked about Sekou handling the ball more, and like I like his little dump off. So we don't know what these players I don't know, man. These 6'9" versatile wing type players is messing the NBA up in a good way and a bad way. Because you gonna, some of them, all of them now not gonna always be good, Luka,
so what do you guys feel about Patrick Williams?
Like as a player, or like fit wise, Bravo.
Fit wise in Chicago.
I think that's something. Yeah.
How is the pick? How do you guys feel about them picking?
I don't like it at all, man. But see, I don't know what Chicago trying to do.
I don't understand. They got the chance to draft Avdia. They got the chance to draft Killian. They got the chance to draft Okoro, a better defender.
It's just like I know they're out on Wendell Carter, but like you have Wendell Carter. What about Laurie Markkinen? Like I know they're probably out on both of them, but I'm just like, you drafted a power forward, and the 2 years before, didn't you just draft a center, power forward, and a power forward again? Small forward, power forward again, right? Like so in the first, so that's what I'm like. And it's not like Patrick Williams can be the best player in this draft. I'm not saying it. It's just like, but I'm just like, I don't know what they're doing. That's why I don't know how he fits.
He's a good player. I'm not sure really. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't ever think I've seen, maybe outside of Devin Booker, a player go so high that didn't even start on his college team. Like, you have to think about it for a second. Like, he didn't even start at Florida State. His teammate, Devin Vassell, did. But he
I'm about to say, that's what I told you. I was like, Devin Vassell was the better player on that team. And of course, he was a freshman. Vassell was year 2 and all that other stuff. And I just thought when I actually found that out when I was doing research, I was like, wait. I'm like, he played for Florida State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, didn't Devin Vassell play for that school? So I went and looked it up. I'm like, he's better than Devin Vassell? That's when y'all know how high I was on the guy. So I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. He was a freshman and got drafted. Vassell didn't. I'll give him that. But, it was just unusual to me. I want to look at some of you comments, guys. I didn't plan on being on here for that long. Let me talk about Michigan real quick and we'll get back to the Pistons. So my goal for Michigan and whatever type of turn, we don't know what type of college season this will be with the bubble and everything, but I do want them to make the tournament and just be competitive. And I'm just going to be serious. Can I see some damn NBA talent on my team? Now, I know Mo Wagner is up east, and he still is. And I know Duncan Robinson is doing this thing. But I'm talking about a star talent, like a star, like somebody who's going to be a star or close to it, Can I see somebody that on Michigan that I believe could reach that point? Because I am very high on them this season. Like, I'm not going to expect him to do what John Beilein was doing off the bat, but I know he's building something. But to me, I'm telling you, Pistons talking Bravo, it's not that hard for me to spot an NBA player. Like rookie year, Jordan Poole, I'm like, oh yeah, I like him. He gonna be in the NBA. He nice. And of course, how good they become in the NBA is one thing. But I knew he was gonna be an NBA player the moment I saw him. Same thing with Mo Wagner. And I don't see a lot of those players on Michigan right now. I didn't think and I was actually surprised Duncan Robinson didn't get drafted, but I understand why he didn't get drafted. So when it comes to Michigan, I just need y'all to deliver, man. Go Blue. Shout out to y'all, man. But all right, let's get back to the Pistons. I'm gonna look at some of you guys' comments. So, but Pistons talk, man. Let's ask you, are we done making any big moves?
Well, I don't know. Like the Derrick Rose stuff last night caught me off guard. I don't know if you guys talked about that yet.
No, we definitely talked about it.
Briefly.
Because he asked me if we were gonna trade Derrick Rose, and I told him basically Troy Weaver, like I said, he was on one phone with the other phone, and somebody was like, oh, so you holding D Rose? Weaver was like, D Rose? I'm like, man, I don't care about no D Rose. I'll trade him in a second. And then they was like, oh snap, they trade D Rose. That's probably what happened. I feel like they asked him that, and he's like, I don't care if we trade D Rose. He's D Rose, and that's what I feel like what happened. Of course, I don't have nothing to back that up, but I feel like it was that kind of situation. Like he's not actively trying to move him, but he'll move him in a second.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I'd like to see more of these moves get officialized before I have an opinion, because I mean, the Portland Trailblazers trade, it's still not official. The DeLon Wright trade, still not official. Like we need some. I think the only free agency signing so far is Jeremy Grant that's official. Everything else hasn't been officialized yet. So I don't know if he's done making moves. I would not be surprised if he does move Derrick Rose. Maybe he likes Dwayne Dedmon more than Mason Plumlee. That deal still hasn't been officialized. So I don't know what the hell's going on. It's 4 days ago.
I'd be surprised if they move Rose, though. I'll be like, kind of like, what the hell?
You're giving the keys to Killian. You're saying this year is all about development. I don't care if we make the playoffs. I just want to develop these young guys, see what I have. If they move D Rose, that's when I know the direction is just youth movement development. That's it. But if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised either.
The thing is, I don't really like the way our coach really doesn't play the rookies. Sometimes give them a hard time, and he plays just experienced guys over them. Like last year, he abused Langston Galloway. He abused Tony Snell. Why don't you just play Sekou? Why don't you just play Jordan Bone? Why don't you just play Kyrie Thomas? This is what really needs to happen this year. They need to give those guys, at least the second-year players like Sekou, he needs to get a legit chance over Sadiq Bey and over like rest of the players, like even over Josh Jackson. He needs to get it over Josh Jackson. I don't understand why last year wasn't really good. I thought they were trying to raise the player of those expiring contract, like the value of the players, like Snell, Galloway. I thought they're going to be traded. Like even Markieff Morris, like they made silly moves in the end. Like Ed Stefanski in the end of last year, he did not do right. He messed up, really. I think even with the Drummond trade, he should have really done a better job. So
that was I wish Troy Weaver was here for that. Oh man, that was a terrible trade. Troy Weaver probably would have got us back a first round pick. I'm joking, y'all, but I'm just saying that's how hard he's been going. When it comes to the Pistons or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So they need to get players.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 104 people in here, man. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. I'm just looking at some of these comments, but that's what I've been saying. Why I've been so hard on Dwayne Casey is because you are not using our young players. I watch these teams that are better than us, that are more successful than us. Every year, use their damn young talent, and they're successful. We just watched Miami do it. We watched Boston do it before they even got Tatum with Jaylen Brown. We watched these young up-and-coming teams use the guys that they actually draft. I mean, Memphis, before they got John Morant, and we know how talented Jaren Jackson is, but he was out there. It wasn't a question, whether he was going to be talented or not. He was out there, and it wasn't nobody playing over them or anything like that. And that's why I've always been tough, because it's always about player development. If you don't develop these players right, they go to different organizations and ball out. Like Brandon Ingram. Lakers have a horrible development staff. Good Lord. Didn't develop him right, and he still was him when he went to the Pelicans, and they didn't. I mean, I wouldn't even say the Pelicans developed him right. They just gave him competent development. Like, it wasn't even like it was great. It was just competent. You saw how they turned Lonzo finally switched his shot, and he's shooting 38%. They just gave him They just gave him a shooting coach. They didn't do nothing special. They just actually like, well, let's actually help you at shooting the basketball for what? You see what I'm saying? And look at all their young players. D'Lo leaves freaking all-star. Look at Kuzma now. What happened to him? That's exactly what I'm saying. And so some teams just have bad development stats and they don't know how to develop players, man. And that's why I'm like, Dwayne Casey, you have to give these guys an opportunity to prove themselves when other guys aren't the long-term option. Yes, we love Josh Jackson. We like Speed. We like Sadiq Bey. But at this point, franchise players are, the franchise veterans are D-Rose and Blake. The franchise youngins are Sekou and Killian.
Yeah.
You feel me? So those are the people who need the ball. And Jeremy Grant, because we paid him $20 million. Those 5 people need the ball the most. That's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah, even with the idea of playing these guys, I think Svi should be going ahead over a guy like DeLon Wright, a shooting guard. He needs to get the chance.
That'd be a problem.
Dwayne Casey, J-Mo, he likes.
Oh no, I know him. But I think Speed nicer than DeLon Wright. I don't think that's going to be a problem for Speed. I don't think Speed's going to have any problems. The coaches love him. He's going to get minutes. Like, Speed's the last one we're going to have to worry about.
I honestly think DeLon Wright will be like a third-string point guard because I was looking back and he was having like triple-doubles when he was in Memphis when they were in the rebuilding phase.
No, like he did have a triple. He had a triple-double. My cousin sent me it. Yeah, he had it. And to me,
but he's gonna play. He played in the playoffs, so he's definitely gonna play here.
Yeah, I see him more as a point guard. I don't see him as a shooting guard. I think he can play shooting guards in certain situations against smaller lineups, but I still think Svi's going to be your shooting guard day one. I don't think he's going to really have any competition. I don't think Ronnie McGruder's going to beat him out of it. I doubt it. He hasn't been that.
Yeah. I think we need to cut Rodney McGruder. We need to cut Dwayne Dedman. I mean, I don't know why we signed Jaleel.
Well, no, I like Rodney McGruder is like kind of like stuck on the team, right?
So they still haven't officially waived and stretched Edmond out. The trade with DeLon Wright actually saved us money to keep Ronnie McGruder because initially we were going to waive and stretch him out as well. So I don't know what the hell's going on, man. Like, this is probably the first year where I couldn't tell you what the hell the Pistons are doing. I usually have an understanding, or maybe I can guess what they're going to do.
See, this is why we in above the rim mode and DSA mode, because we here to branch gaps. Your boy J-Mo broke down everything I thought Troy Weaver was doing at the beginning of this video. And what I was saying, and I want you to go rewatch it. But what I was saying was I think he's trying to compete and just is going to see what happens. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, I'm going to put together a solid team that's not, even though some contracts are big, but that's not over costly. And I'm going to just field them. You know, I know field them is more of a football term, but, I'm going to just, or baseball term, but I'm going to just field them and see if they stay healthy, make the playoffs. Great. They don't. We get a high pick. Cool. But you see, I think he's like, I'm going to put together a solid team, at least from a, it's not a contending team, but a solid team to contend for that playoff seed. They're going to have a play-in game. So the play-in tournament. So a solid to compete for the little play-in tournament spot. That's 8 through 10, right? So I'm going to put together a team that's going to be able to compete from 5 to 10, from anywhere in that range. And we going to see where they land. If they fall outside of 10, cool. But when I look at these moves, I'm like, what is Weaver doing? Why would you sign Jeremy Grant to that big contract? Because it's a little bit of commitment. I don't want to say a commitment to win a type of thing, but you're not going to pay him that if you're trying to lose games.
I see it as a 2 to 3 year restoring rebuild. I think that's how long he's giving himself. So you kind of look at the contracts. They're all between the 2 to 3 year window. So Plumlee's 3 years. I know a lot of people saying, why are we signing him? Straight up, he's going to be great for pick and rolls with Killian and Derrick Rose. Good passer, but he is overpaid. I'm not going to deny that. I think if you look at Josh Jackson and J.L. Okafor, 2-year deals, prove-it deals. Those guys have nothing but potential high lottery picks. You never know what you're going to get out of them. Frickin' Josh Jackson could come home, ball out, and the Pistons look like geniuses. And he could fail as well. You never know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a 2 or 3 year kind of like restoring until we're actually winning playoff series. We can make the playoffs maybe with this roster constructed, maybe sneak into the playoffs. But I can't see us winning a series with the roster constructed right now.
I don't think anybody has went that far. It depends on the matchup, though. But I don't think anybody has went that far. But I'm sorry, I don't think anyone wants to play a healthy Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose if they're on the team in a playoff series. You don't. I know it's been a while since they've been in the playoffs, but you're not going to be asleep like playing them in the playoffs. So it is what it is. What you heard me say, I said in 3 years we're gonna be a contending team, like a consistent playoff contending team. Because that's what I see where he's building. Like 3 years from now, Seiko will be way better, Killian will be way better, and I think they'll pan out Sadiq Bey, Stewart, and whoever we draft next year and the year after. So I agree with you on that. But to me, that's why I said that, because he's gonna field a solid enough team to compete anywhere from that 5 to 10 spot. And he's going to see what happens, because all of the contracts are good enough to where the flexibility with them is there. Wow, man, we got 137 people in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all. This supposed to be a short vid, man.
How do you guys?
Shout out to you guys, man. Make sure you guys like the video. Come on, man. We only got 35 likes, man. Look, at least can I get to 75 at least? And then we can push away to 100, man. Yeah, I gave you your wrench down, bro. Go ahead, man.
How do you guys feel about like Atlanta Hawks signings? They signed a lot of free agents.
That's gonna be one of the teams we competing with.
I wonder if the Kings are gonna match Bogey's contract, because they have until tonight. I think midnight is the latest. So they have Gallinari and Bogdanovic. They got a lot of freaking shooting. I think they got better with Rondo and Dunn on the perimeter. I think that's the big thing that Trae Young needed, is a perimeter defender to hide behind. I could see them being like maybe a 6th seed in the East, because they have the pieces.
Yeah.
So you see that comment about Cade Cunningham. Now, we talked about Cade, and I was asking you guys, I'm like, I don't necessarily really know we should bring him here if Killian turns out to be the franchise point guard.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they take him, I'm not gonna if you have Westbrook and you draft Steph Curry, you think I'm gonna be pissed? You know what I'm saying? You have Steph and you draft Dame. Am I gonna be upset? No, we have Steph and Dame. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not gonna be upset we get Cade Cunningham, but it's about building a team. And that's why but y'all said he was like 6'8" and he can play 6'7", and he can play multiple positions. Yeah. But he a point guard to me. So why would you bring him here? You put the draft is loaded with other types of basketball players. Get one of them.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel about it.
I mean, I was on Tankathon this morning. I mean, they have us finishing in the top 3, and they have us taking Jalen Green, who's going to be playing in the G League this year.
Man, that would be a great player.
Jalen Green is a baller, and that's
he's nice.
I would take Jalen Green, and he's a 2 guard, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a shooting guard.
Yeah, so
Boston Jr. I think we also had us
exactly what we need. It's just of course, you take the talent over position any day of the week. But when you already have stud talent in that position, you don't take it. Ben Simmons is there. They're not drafting no point guards. That's just the point I'm making. If Killian has a good enough rookie season to if he averaged 13, at least 13, I wouldn't draft Cade.
When I watch Cade, I kind of get Ben Simmons vibes from when I watch him.
What does that even mean?
Just the way he plays the game, it's very similar. This is court vision alone. You could honestly have a backcourt of Cade and Killian at the same time if you wanted to.
No, it would definitely work. He's that good.
Yeah, I mean, he's goal number 1. There's no debate over that. I don't think anyone in the chat would probably disagree with that.
Of course not. He's the best player.
He's just the best player. But, I mean, I think this is a draft where there's probably going to be a consensus pick. Like this year, we couldn't tell you who the hell was going to be the number 1 pick. Yeah. I think it'll probably be Cade, Jalen Green, and maybe I can't think of his name. BJ. You know what I'm talking about, Bravo?
What is it? Boston Jr.
Yeah, I think those would probably be your consensus top 3. Honestly.
Yeah. I don't want people to get Of course, I would take Cade on the team. Like I said. Mm-hmm. If you had Steph Curry and Dame Lillard was there and you take Dame Lillard, are they going to be a bad team? No, they're going to win a chip. So there's no way that Cade and Killian wouldn't work. But when you can draft Jalen Green and just have him score, You know what I'm saying? I know y'all get me. So it's nothing against Cade. That man is special. But so when I was looking at him, you brought up the Ben Simmons thing, and I was just because I saw him play when he was 16 years old. I see a lot of these players play before they blow up, like Mikey Williams. I saw him last year, and I was like, "Yo, who is this guy? He's gonna be very good." But and I saw him play, and now I'm seeing him play now, and I'm just like, and I just kept watching, and I just kept watching, and then that's when I saw what I call it. The way he controlled the game is weird to me. It's like you can't do anything about it. I know it sounds kind of funny. It's kind of like when he gets the ball, and I know I just said I don't want the guy and I'm hyping him up, but I think he's a special player. And I would rather have Jalen Green, but it's like he's in control of everything when he got the ball in his hand. Like when I mean everything, I mean everything. It's like he controls. It's like when he gets the ball, everyone on the court knows something just changed. And it's players like that. Like that in the NBA now, but you can just tell with like the smoothness and calmness and patience of his game, and he has that smooth and calmness that I really love in Killian. So I think K is gonna be special, man, because the way he controls the game of basketball is something special. But we got 144 in the chat. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, guys. Make sure you drop some questions in the chat. But I love Jalen Green, but I'll take Cade over him. Hey, no problem. Cade's a beast. I just don't want, I want Cade to get his own squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, why bring him to a team that's already, like, why put him on a team with John Morant? Even if that could happen, like, Cade needs his own squad. And, like, Cade is a franchise player, no doubt, man. Cade can play multiple roles, but he's a point guard, though. Versatility is a thing in the NBA, but he a point. You know what I'm saying? Like Ben Simmons can play power forward. Maybe he should be a power forward. Who knows? But he's still a point guard. Definitely Jalen Green is a franchise player. I don't think a money base is going to MSU. Yeah, I said it.
Go straight to the league.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you go to MSU? Like Amani been ready to play in the league since last year, man. He's 15 years old, ready to play in the league. Like it's only two players like I've seen in like the last 10 years. But when they was 15, I'm like, he could be in the NBA literally right now, and that was Zion and this guy. So
just looking at the NBA cap space for the Pistons next year, how much cap space we have? I'm looking at it right now. So we got like. I think we got few players only coming off the cap, like Svi Mihailuk is going to be a free agent. Musa, we can decline his right and become a free agent. Zaire Smith can become a free agent. Derrick Rose, obviously. I don't see too many unless like Blake decline his contract himself. So I don't really see a lot of cap space. So we can actually, we might not be able to afford.
So are you looking at the entire roster right now?
Yeah, the entire roster is not even updated.
Yeah, I know. Just name off everybody that's at least on what you looking at, so people can get a feel for things.
Yeah, but we could not be able to afford Svi maybe. So that's the thing that I could see the Pistons making a decision on him before the trade deadline.
Yeah, but name off the players,
name all the players. Yeah, so we have Blake Griffin, Jeremy Grant, Dwayne Dedman, Derrick Rose, Rodney Magruder, Sekou Doumbouya, Zaire Smith, Musa, Zvi. We also have those rookies, Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey. We also have Isaiah Stewart. We still have, we haven't officially declined Jordan McRae yet, I heard. Not even also with Lewis King. He's still on they haven't declined him officially. And I also see incoming 4 free agents, DeLon Wright, Mason Plumlee, Jaleel Okafor, and Josh Jackson. I don't really see where Magruder, I already mentioned him. Ariza is gone. He's not on our list for sure. We might actually end up, I think, moving more players of this.
So why was Dwayne Dedman on the list?
Because he's still part of the contract. Dead money. That's what it is.
Oh,
Dead
okay.
money. Deadman.
I was about to say like
Yeah,
the Devin in the Louis Dang mode. So he ain't about to be doing nothing but sitting and chilling every game.
it's dead money. So I do feel like we're gonna move away from. We gotta make a decision on Svi, Rose, and one of those players. I think we might see something like that
Speed rolls and one of what players?
because we have to decide on these guys. They cannot stay on the roster. If Troy Weaver gets away with Svi, trading him to a different team, get some pick in return, he might end up doing it.
I mean, but he doesn't have to pay Sweet.
Next year he'll be a free agent, so I don't think we can afford him. So
Yeah, I'm talking about this year.
this year before the trade deadline, he might do it. So we'll see.
I don't see him trading Sweet. Now he might because he's Troy Weaver, but it's just like you gonna trade everybody.
I know, right? That's a really
Speed and Sekou are the last two of the young core. Like
that's everybody.
Everybody.
That's kind of
Like,
crazy to be honest. To think
Speed
about it.
And Steve Mikhailo can contribute to any young core in the league. So I just don't know about that.
JMO, it's almost like he traded away everybody. Almost 85% of the team is traded. So that's kind of ridiculous.
Everybody but the special four, man.
Yeah, I know.
Speed Sekou, fantastic four, man. Speed Sekou, Blake and Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
I said Blake and Griffin. I'm stupid. Blake and Derrick Rose. I think everybody else is gone. Like Grant is not gonna be no. Hey, I said Grant got to be an all-star. People think my standards is too high for Jeremy Grant, but if you pay me $20 million, you need to be averaging a point per million, 20 points a game. If you ain't averaging 20, you need to be averaging at least 18 a game. So we gonna see what he does. But all right, guys, look, we about to wrap up the show. Not really a show, just a live stream and talk to you guys. This is my video about the Pistons, man. But y'all know how we can get ranting going on and just talking some basketball out here. I do think the Pistons are building, and I think I'm starting to see Troy Weaver's vision. His vision is to build and try to build and don't get any worse. So take a team from the ground up, which will be this one. However we are, good we are, is how good we are. Next year, we'll move some more contracts, maybe move Blake D. Rose, draft some more players. The next year, everybody, whoever causes us any trouble, whether it's Blake, D. Rose, even Jeremy Grant, I think will be gone at his third season, especially if he's living up to the contract, maybe. So after that, we'll see. But I think he's actually going to try to compete with this basketball team. Like if Blake, I don't have any doubt we a playoff team if Blake play at least 60 games. I really don't doubt it because I watched him do it with a worse team. So it's the East. And yes, the East is better. You got Atlanta coming up. But this is the thing about the East. 4 teams always, like 3 teams come up and 3 teams go down in the East every year. So we'll be like, but the East has this team and that team and this team and that team in the playoff hunt. Like Washington and all of this. But who knows? Like, are the Pacers making the playoffs again? They're very talented and they should. But I don't know. Nate McMillan made gold with them boys. So
he's gone.
And you got Washington, you got Atlanta, you have teams like us, teams like the Magic, teams like Charlotte. So we'll see.
Yeah,
happens,
Charlotte got Melo, remember, and they got Gordon Hayward, so they might make a playoff. You never know.
Mean, they have Miles Bridges and PJ Washington and Devontae Graham as well. So, all right, guys, drop your questions in the chat. If you have any questions for me or the panel, or questions about the Pistons, questions about Michigan basketball that's about to come back. We had a rough year. See, John Beeline is a piece of shit. Yeah, I said it. You're a piece of shit for leaving us. You left 2 national championship appearances to get fired by Cleveland. So I don't care. He betrayed us, but guess what? We back. We had to have a down year, but this year we're making a tournament. That's all I'm saying.
Bunch of slugs.
Right. right. Called them a bunch of slugs. Come on, John Beeline. I swear, I was so mad he left us and then went to Ohio. But him getting fired was karma. It was nothing but karma to me. I was like, that's what you get for leaving Michigan. You should have never left. But now we building something new. I think with the influx of youth and free agency, Blake and D Rose health can easily be managed. That's exactly why I don't think D Rose is starting. Yeah, man. Blake ain't going. We don't have to overplay Blake. We got people to back him up at power forward. Final stat prediction, man. Can the season start before I do that first? Like, I need to see Killian on an NBA basketball court. You know, I'm just that type of person. I don't care how good any of these players ever were. I have to see you on the court at least like the first for like at least 5 games before I start thinking predictions and all this other craziness or whatever. So, but and Blake is coming off an injury. I think D Rose have the same numbers. I'll tell you that. And I think Jeremy Grant averaged at least 16. So it is what it is. Rob Beard is on 97.1 to 97.1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he dropping gems and not crazy stuff like, taking Romeo Langford.
I got it paused right now, so I'm about to listen to it when we get off.
I just let it be known he wanted Nasir Little and Romeo Langford, and I told him that was crazy. He tried to go in on me, and we had a nice debate about it. But anyway, what's my prediction for missing in basketball? We make it out the first round. That's my bar. I don't know what else we're going to do. Well, all right, man, we're going to wrap it up. I wasn't going to be here that long anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone, man. My man Troy Weaver is he's holding things down. Free agency is crazy right now, but all right, man. We 97.1 is so trash. Hey, I agree with you there. I don't listen to 97.1. I haven't listened to them in a decade. So, and I probably never listened to them. So, I did listen to them when TJ Lang was on though. I'll take that back. When my boy TJ came on, I used to love that junk, man. I love TJ Lang, man. That was about it. But besides that, I don't listen to nothing. But all right, man, we out.